Hi, y'all. Thank you for coming to You Make Me Sick TV. Please like and subscribe if you like it. Also, I like videos that I've already watched, and I'll save them if I want to rewatch them. Just what I do. Okay, so this week at the White House. This Tuesday started, our Congress was back in session officially, and there were people protesting and booing them as they were going back in at 2 o'clock. Also, the Epstein and Maxwell victims were speaking at the White House that day, Tuesday, to our elected officials, speaking about their experiences and all the abuse they took from them for years, and the threats, etc., and all the covering up that's been going on behind the scene with law enforcement. So they shared that with everybody. People came out crying. It was incredibly emotional, it seemed like, whatever they were saying behind the closed doors on Tuesday. And they came out Wednesday morning to have a press conference that was headed up by Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna, and it also joined in with Marjorie Greene Taylor was there. I couldn't believe it. We all came together for this moment, and the women, the survivors, spoke their piece, and it was very, big crowd, good to hear them all speak. Their attorney was present. The girls that never spoke before that have been afraid. They spoke about how everything's, affected their lives and their families' lives since all this begun, and that they want all the files released, not this baloney of what MAGA Mike re-released as a cover-up that they've already seen. And that was Wednesday morning. So as soon as, they came back in session, the cover-up began. Trump went squirreling all over the place because he couldn't have this coming out. So it started by calling this whole thing a hoax this week, saying it didn't really exist. It was a Democratic hoax, when he's actually spoke to it before, and now he's saying it doesn't really exist. So there's a big discrepancy there. So he started all these huge things as usual to redirect the public's attention, like we're stupid or something. And late Tuesday night, he was having MAGA Mike saying they're going to release the Epstein files. There's no need to take a vote on this on Wednesday because I'm releasing everything tonight on this website. And everything that was released, 97% of it had already been released to the public, and the other 3% or less was released, and all the names were redacted from it. So it's, again, they think we're stupid and that social media doesn't exist. And then also, as part of the cover-up, I think, early Wednesday morning, late Tuesday night, whatever way you want to look at it, depending on what time zone you're in, Trump posted, how the U.S. military blew up this boat in Venezuela, coming from Venezuela, with drugs in it, and killed 11 people. They've shown us no proof of that it had drugs or anything or, in it. So Wednesday morning, the cover-up continues as the Epstein survivors press conference starts. Trump purposely has the leader from Poland come over that day, that morning, at the same exact time. They're in the White House speaking. as the women survivors are facing the public in the heat outside, speaking their truths. Trump has the military jets fly over them as they're speaking, no joke, like more than once, really loud sounds. And everybody just stops and looks up, and you can't even hear them for a moment. And he does it again. He might have even did it again, all in this extremely short period of time while the women were talking. And one of the women was like, oh, yeah, whatever, try to hush us. Because they're used to trying to be hushed. It's ridiculous. So all this.
I was horrified when I found out not only had Ghislaine Maxwell been transferred to what's called a low security. It's really is like a holiday camp, and then afterwards I got a notification from the Department of Justice telling me that this was going to happen when it had already happened. This woman abused children. Abused by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell for over 10 years. Ghislaine Maxwell was present for some of my abuse at the hand of Jeffrey Epstein. She was present, she was complicit, she was enabling, and it is appalling and disgusting. And it's one of my worst nightmares that she not only be transferred, but at the possibility that's very much going around that she might be pardoned. This is not okay, guys. This is not okay.
And I just want to add that I think it sends a very dangerous message to our country, to the young people in our country, that someone that we all know is aware of these crimes could be given a pass.
Hey, just for the relationship with Donald Trump, could you please elaborate about that?
And
My first trip to the Palm Beach residence, I drove there. Jeffrey and Ghislaine were always very boastful about their friends, their famous or powerful friends. And his biggest brag forever was that he was very good friends with Donald Trump. He had an 8x10 framed picture of him on his desk with the two of them. Like, they were very close.
Go ahead.
This was going on Wednesday morning. Also on Wednesday, Trump was asked, he had journalists in the White House, because the Poland leader was there, why there was seen garbage bags being thrown out of the Lincoln room at the White House.
Got another one? Let me see. Yeah, let's stay in that little outhouse on the end. Oh, somebody there, right? Right now, right? Oh, there you go. You got it? You zoomed in?
He claims it was AI. He has no idea that the windows in the White House are bulletproof and they weigh like 600 pounds and they all are shut for safety reasons, which cannot be the truth, because if they're sealed shut, then nobody can get out if a fire happened or a smoke alarm went off, or even if they needed fresh air like the First Lady wanted this week or last. So what else happened this week? Oh yeah, Thursday evening, there was an AI meeting at the White House with all the big techs, and like Bill Gates, Tim Cook from Apple, Elon Musk was apparently invited, but he didn't show up. He sent somebody in for him. And also Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, all billionaires, by the way, were sitting there just saying wonderful things about what an honor it was to be at this table with them and Melania. And then little did Mark Zuckerberg know his mic was still on. And MSNBC got a clip of what he said about the amount of money he said he was giving to the U.S.
How much are you spending, would you say, over the next few years?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I think it's probably going to be something like, I don't know, at least $600 billion through 28 in the U.S. Yeah.
It's a lot.
No, it's significant. Sorry, I wasn't ready to do our for announcement.
He said I wasn't sure what number you wanted to go with. Well, he said.
I was.
Also, that morning, Thursday morning, before the AI tech meeting, Melania seems to be like Trump's caretaker all of a sudden. She seems to be at his side all of a sudden, which she never is usually. And while he was answering questions on Thursday morning, they're seen in a clip here at News Nation where it was incredible. Somebody from the press asked him a question, and usually he can't hear them. He asked them to repeat it. I don't know if that's a way to let it sit or give him more time to think, but he asked Melania, who was sitting next to him, you know, you could see him saying, what do you say? And then she says in his ear, and you could hear her say it. She repeats the question to him, and then he answers it, and then he goes on talking about the 7 wars that he believes, by the way, that he says he ended. And he goes on talking about the 7 wars he ended, blah, 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 blah. And
thank you, Mr. President. I have 2 questions for you. First, after your phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky today, do you plan to speak with Russia's President Putin in the near future?
What?
If you will speak with President Putin in the near future.
I will be, yeah, I will be. We're having a very good dialogue. I settled 7 wars. The one that I thought would be maybe one of the easiest. You know that feeling? You think one thing is going to be easier, turns out to be a little bit tougher, but...
I don't know if you've seen him lately, but every time he talks, he goes on and on about these 7 wars he stopped. So that's what he continued to do as usual, as he's fading right in front of our eyes, but he's running the USA. Also Tuesday, this is worth a mention this week, Supreme Court Justice, they come back the first week of October, I believe, but she's been seen on an interview this week because she has a book coming out, which she got a $2 million advance for. Yes, $2 million advance for. The woman that changed the lives of women in this country. Yes, she was the one decider that on Roe v. Wade overturned it. This very Catholic woman with 8 kids. Yeah, so if you see her on an interview, you could watch her squirm and flip-flop over the fact that she changed all the women's rights in this country. And why. She's trying to explain why. And yet it seems like in the book, she said it's a fundamental right for every woman to decide. So when she's confronted with this, she seems to get very defensive or angry. I don't know. You tell me what you think.
The court has held that the rights to marry, engage in sexual intimacy, use birth control, and raise children are fundamental. But the rights to do business, commit suicide, and obtain abortion are not.
Right. I'm describing the doctrine. I was a con law professor for many years. Yes, I described the doctrine in the book, and that is the state of the law, which I described in the book because I want people to understand it. I want Americans to understand the law, and that it's not just an opinion poll about whether the Supreme Court thinks something is good or whether the Supreme Court thinks something is bad. Mm-hmm. You know, what the court is trying to do is see what the American people have decided. And sometimes the American people have expressed themselves in the Constitution itself, which is our fundamental law, sometimes in statutes. But the court should not be imposing its own values on the American people. Mm-hmm. That's for the democratic process.
And so when Hillary Clinton, for example, says, what's next? She said, my prediction is the court will do to gay marriage what they did to abortion.
Well, I think people who criticize the court or who are outside say a lot of different things. But again, the point that I make in the book is that we have to tune those things out. So,
but you also say in the book that the rights to marry and engage in sexual intimacy and use birth control and raise children are fundamental.
Yes, again, I'm describing what our doctrine is, and that is what we've said.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it on You Make Me Sick this week. I think Amy Coney Barrett's going to get the award for You Make Me Sick because she shouldn't be on a book tour. She's the Supreme Court Justice. You don't do these things. Why is this going on? This is not okay. This is not okay, and it's not acceptable. Okay, that's it. Thanks. Please remember to like this, and please remember to hit the subscribe button. It's free. And have a great day or night. Bye.